Hello, ladies and gentle ladies. Welcome back to another Industria development stream. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we're going to be continuing with updating to 1.21.11 today. I said last time we would hopefully get it done, but that didn't go to plan because we had some issues. And we still have a couple issues, so hopefully we're going to get those resolved today, but we'll see. I think let's just try and get into it. So I've already fixed some issues with like the block entity rendering wasn't working, so that was a little bit of a pain to fix, but I've managed to do that. And then also the screen here, so you can see that the entities render, so that's good. There's a minor issue with the block entities, like they don't seem to be ticking for some reason, which is interesting. Either that or then maybe not calling the update state method. I'm not sure which, but one of those is definitely a problem. I'm not too worried about that. That's kind of a minor issue, and I can easily come back to that in the future. Fluids are still an issue. They still go ahead and just render the friggin' background below them. I still don't know why they do that. And then the other major issue you can see pretty obviously here. So that is that the multi-block kind of previews are following the camera. Now I think that should be easy to fix, but we're gonna have to have a look because I haven't looked at the code yet. So I think let's just get straight into that. So I believe that happens in the... I'm not sure actually. I think it's the example multi-block controller. Yeah. So in here, this is taking in the matrices. I don't think that will work, though I'm not sure. I think the issue here is I'm trying to draw all of them within a single like draw call. I don't think it likes that. So there might be an easy solution, which would be to do this. I don't know if that will work, but that's something we could try. I don't think I can hot swap that, can I? No. So we'll try and restart. That may just fix it, in which case we don't have any major issues. Hello Fortnite, welcome to the stream. Things are going well, I think. I believe we don't have any major issues if this works. But as I say, it's going to be a little bit hit or miss in whether or not this works. I think it might. Maybe. The only problem I have is that draw filled box actually takes in the matrices and not the entry. That could cause a problem. I'm not sure. There is actually this draw box method here that does take in an entry, but this takes in some extra values here, and I don't necessarily know that that is necessary. This one actually doesn't though, so maybe we actually can just take in the entry. It doesn't like that. Yeah, so that takes in, if we look at that, that's 6 doubles. What we're giving it here, we are giving it 6 doubles, and then we're giving it 4 floats. So if we have a look at this, 6 doubles, 4 floats. That's actually correct. Oh, because we're calling draw field box. I see. Interesting. Yeah, so draw field box. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure there's a solution, but let's just see if this works. I think that's a good start, and then we'll go from there. That has not changed diddly squat. I suspected that might be the case. The other possible solution is that we just need to deal with the camera ourselves, maybe. So possibly that could be a matter of just like negating the camera positions, right? Your camera is lagging? I don't think it is. Wait 1 second. No, it's not lagging. I'm looking at the YouTube preview. It's not lagging. My camera is fine. Maybe your end of the stream is lagging. It's slightly lagging earlier. It will lag when my CPU's maxing out, which I don't think you can see, can you? Can I get that up or no? No. When my CPU maxes out, my camera will lag. And my CPU will max out when I load up the game, for example. Or yeah, certain things like that. When I load into a world as well, that will probably max out my CPU. Okay, actually, the interesting thing here is that these blocks aren't rendering either, which is interesting. That once again could be, oh, that's just because of this. I see. Okay. So they are rendering fine. It is just this like green shenanigans that are not working. Okay. A possible solution could be to negate the camera position like here in this method here. Let me quickly, I don't know if I can like, I mean I can temporarily, oh no, wrong one. I can temporarily do that, and then let's try this actually. So if we do once again matrices dot push, and then we do matrices dot translate. No, yeah, let's do that, and then let's do matrices dot pop, and then let's translate by the camera position. So if we go ahead and grab the camera position, so I think it's a vec 3D. We don't have access to that, but we have the context, and from the context we have the entity render dispatcher, which does have access to the camera, and from there we can get the camera pause like that, and then we should, in theory, be able to do that, and it might work. So let's hot swap and just see what happens. That didn't change anything. Interesting. I am actually very surprised. Let's try this one. Maybe it was just the wrong. That's interesting. I really actually did think that would solve it. I am very suspicious that this is probably causing the issue, because that's taking in the matrices rather than taking in the entry. What we could maybe try and do, I don't know if this will work, but I think there's a way we can get the matrices back from the entry. Maybe like a new matrix stack, and then we that I'm sure there's a way to do this, like matrix stack dot entry. No, let's maybe do like a new matrix stack and pass in the entry. No. So that obviously adds the entry. There's no other way to add to that, is there? So obviously pushing does that, but not in the way that we want. Hmm. And there isn't a way to go the other way around, so we can't like get the matrix stack from that. I'm curious actually, what it might be useful to do is just see how vanilla uses this method. So here, for example, so this uses, interestingly enough, vertex consumers.get buffer. Which means this has access to the vertex consumer. So that's called here. And that's just an overload, so that's fine. So where are you called? You are called here. Which is called in what? Unfortunately, nothing useful. So I wonder if that method is maybe just physically not possible. Yeah, I'm wondering if that's not possible to use. Because all of these are in the debug renderer. Which makes sense. Ugh. That doesn't make sense because this is all for debug rendering. But yeah, that's a little bit annoying. Maybe what we could do what we could just do is copy these. Right? Like just take all of this, copy, go into like util, right? Go into maybe, do I have a rendering utils or something? No? Okay. Well, I could go into like some util class, so I'll create like some kind of world. You know, actually, a good place to put this would be in the block entity renderer class in here. Right, and just come all the way down to the very bottom, paste these in, and then just make this take in a entry, right? Just call that entry. And I mean, that basically works, right? I can then just use entry.getPositionMatrix. And that's kind of it. So, I mean, that might work. I am intrigued why those are not being used. Why? It says those are never used, but like that's fundamentally not true. So IntelliJ is just straight up lying, which is always nice. We love when IntelliJ does that. And then if I just do this, and make this one take in matrix stack dot entry, and this will be the entry. Then in here I can just pass in entry, and that might just work. If I then maybe get rid of these, we can add them back if that doesn't fix it, but let's try that. I have a suspicion that this might work. And then if it does, the next thing to do will be to go through some of the block entities and test that those still work. So we haven't gone through and tested those since we updated. Obviously, in the current stage of the mod, it's hard to test everything. Because everything is a little bit all over the place and there isn't a huge amount of like connections between things, which obviously massively complicates things. Yeah, I want to get into a state where we have this test world that we can just open and instantly know pretty much everything works. I think that would be fantastic, but I think we're a little bit far away from that. So that's actually gone ahead and fixed that. That's all we needed. All we needed to do was literally copy the method and fix the jank that vanilla had. That's kind of what I thought we might have to do. That's fine. Classic fixing vanilla moment. The other thing we probably do want to just quickly do is check that we don't have draw field box anywhere else, because if we do, then obviously that's not going to work either. In this case, we actually don't. So all of these ones here are just, these are just all from vanilla, I believe. I don't think this is like, yeah, that's vanilla. So that's fine. We don't have to worry about that. Okay. In that case, let's go through and test some block entities and see what happens. They'll either render or they will not. So we're going to have to actually look at some of the recipes for some of these, because I am very kind of out of it when it comes to the way things were done. It's been a very long time. So we could maybe try just going from the recipes from top to bottom, and that'll kind of get us the entire process. So that's probably a good way to do this. So if we start with the mixer, then I'll take the mixer, place that down. Okay, that's a good start. So obviously the model is rendering fine. Hello Wide, welcome to the stream. I'm doing pretty good. Things are going well. Okay, so if we look at the mixer recipe here, so we take in a couple things. So we take in bauxite, we take in sodium hydroxide, and then we take in water. So that's pretty simple. So let's grab some bauxite. Let's grab some sodium hydroxide, which I think is, yeah, that one. Let's also get rid of everything else. Get rid of all of you. And then let's grab some water. And now for the water, we are going to want to grab a fluid pump. Which I need to make a model for at some point, because that's kind of really starting to bug me. And we also are going to want some cables as well. And let's quickly set up an energy thing as well. So I think I can just use the creative battery, but it might be nice to just use the wind turbines, just so we can see those rendering and stuff. That's always nice to do. So if we just place a couple of these down, place a couple of cables down, we can also just put a creative battery at the end as well. That's always an option. And then we can just grab some water. So let's put a fluid pump down, and then let's just place some water around it. Obviously below this is just, you know, the void, but as long as we don't go in the water, we'll be all good. So that should work. Let's just pass the energy cable, I think, on top. Yes. And then also let's do the fluid one. So it comes out this side. Apparently we can just check though. So that has 162. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so then the mixer. I don't know where the water goes in. See which side it connects on. So it's not going to connect on that side. It's not connecting on that side. I think it goes in the top, actually, if I recall correctly. Yes, it does. Okay, that's fine. So then we can just go ahead and join that up. Boom, boom. God, these are hard to place. Okay, good. So the water rendering works. That's a great start. I consider this already a massive win. Okay, so then let's also provide it with some power. Let's also do time set day, and let's do game rule do weather cycle false, and game rule do daylight cycle false. That might just be a little bit easier for us here. And then we're just going to run that cable along. That doesn't want to connect. I think this also goes in the top for some reason. I can actually... Is it F3 and B? Yeah, so I can now actually see the sides that those. I'm actually surprised this works. I wasn't sure this would render, but it does, so that's good. So that's energy in the top. Lovely. What are you working on today? Today we're just working on updating everything. Mainly at the moment, just testing that everything works. You know, that's a good start, right? Why aren't they full blocks? Why aren't what full blocks? You mean this? This is a 2x2, but it's in a 3x3 space. The reason I did that is just so I could have a center port, which, you know, like that would join to this center one. I'm not exactly sure that's how I'm going to keep it, because it means I'm going to have like some custom like cable model that connects to like here rather than, you know, right now it's there. I might change this. I'm probably going to change this because it's very weird. We'll see. I might just make the model 3x3. I don't know. But that probably needs fixing at some point. To be honest, at some point, all the models are going to have to be redone in the entire mod because they're going to need textures at some point. So when they need textures, they're also going to get models. These wind turbines aren't going to work because there's going to be too many things in the way down here. So that's the mixer. Let's just put these in and hopefully that should just work. Well, I mean, yes, but also clearly no. So the renderer is clearly not working. So let's go into the mixer and let's have a look why that would be the case. So we've got state dot stirring rotation. Equals state dot stirring rotation plus 0.1. Yeah, I think that's probably the issue. So I don't know why the items aren't rendering though. Game window in the way. Oh, okay. 1 second. I can. I'm gonna make it small for today. You guys don't need to see like the entire. I think like this is fine, right? You don't need to see it any bigger than that because otherwise it does just become in the way. So that's fine. I'm also gonna move that onto my other window or other monitor. So I don't know why the items aren't rendering. It kind of says to me that possibly this method isn't working. If we plonk a breakpoint there. Interesting, that's actually not being called. Really? So let's look in the state then. That suggests it doesn't actually have an inventory. Yeah, so actually in this case, oh no, wait, no. Interesting. So the inventory is full of air. Say the input inventory held stacks. Interesting. At inventory storage, inventories. That's air. I don't remember what all of these inventories are, if I'm being honest. Some of them are going to be for buckets. Some of them are going to be for other shenanigans. So state input inventory. Let's see what that's being set to. So that's being set to block entity.get input inventory. That's rather unusual. And that kind of makes me wonder whether some of the like syncing logic has actually been broken. Possibly for a while, even. Although the alloy kiln works, right? So I have to find the difference between what this is doing and what the alloy kiln is doing. Okay, what we will do in that case is let's just have a look first of all. What is the inventory? Is it a synced inventory? Because if it's not, then that's instantly going to tell us. I mean, it should be, because this all worked previously. So it is. This is a synced inventory. Okay. And is that in the syncable storages? Yes, it is. And just to check, this is the 0th inventory. Yes, that is correct. Okay. Fine. Okay, so then let's have a look in here. So this is the read data method. We actually are more interested in the write data method. So let's have a look at this specifically. Let's come back into here like that. Let's press play and let's try and see what happens in here. So this .wrap inventory storage. Let's have a look. In inventories, we have sodium hydroxide and bauxite. So that's correct. And this is on the server thread. So let's go into put child and maybe see if that's not working in here. So write data view.get key. So view is what? MBT. Get key inventory. Inventory is indeed not in there. But that's fine because we're writing it, right? So serializable.write data. So we need to look at serializable.write data. So let's go into there. And that goes into our wrap inventory storage. So then we go view. And let's go MBT. Now this is actually interestingly saying that the MBT is empty. Is that correct? Possibly. Didn't actually Fabric add a thing for this? Like but no. Fabric added a thing. I don't know where it's gone or where it went. But Fabric, I think, actually added some utils for this. Fortunately, I don't know where it will have gone. So if we look at maybe the right view mixin, so that has those, which is not what I was looking for. I'm sure that they're a thing. I'm going to quickly go into the Fabric Discord. And I'm just going to do a little bit of searching. And see. Let me see. No. I'm sure. I'm sure they added a thing. Maybe I am completely imagining it. But I could have sworn Fabric added the API. It was shortly after 1.21.8, I think. I know what to search for. 1 second. No, never mind. I take that back. I do not know what to search for. Okay. Looking, I'm looking. Okay, I'm admittedly struggling to find anything. I'm sure I vividly remember. I vividly remember seeing it somewhere. God, so many things happen in the friggin' Fabric live updates that it's hard to find what I'm looking for. I can't find it. I can't sit here forever trying to search for it, unfortunately. So, okay. In that case, let's continue kind of where we are. So how do you jump to the current? Oh yeah. Okay, so what we'll have to do is we'll have to take inventory and we're gonna have to look at what write data does. So write data, okay, it does that, whatever. Okay. But list appender, what's in list appender? Key items, list is 2 slots. Okay. So hopefully, in our hypothetical scenario, that leaves us with the view. Interesting. So the items actually just got white. Ah. So I think by using inventories.writeData, what we're doing is we're overwriting the data. So actually what we need to do is we need to use view utils dot put child. Yeah, this basically. So if I convert this loop here into a for I loop, so we do indexed for loop, and then I will be this, and then this. Don't know why it's done that, but sure. So this dot inventories, this dot inventories, like that. Put child. So the last one is a view serializable. And I don't exactly remember what that is. So IntelliJ's done it like this, but I don't think that is the case. If we have a look at a view serializable, yeah, so that is a read and a write. Okay. So what are we doing in this one? So we're doing put child and that is the wrapped inventory storage. Okay. Let's also decompile this real quick. Let's stop the game because we're going to have to, you know, we're changing some things, so we're going to have to hot swap that. Okay, whilst that's doing that, can we just pass in, I wonder, inventory? Oh, 1 second, we're lagging for a moment. Let's just let it decompile. Okay, so that doesn't let us pass inventory itself into there. Okay, I have an idea. What if we make our own inventory serializer class and do it that way? So if we come in here and we create a public static simple inventory serializer, and this is a class, and this will implement what is it, view serializable, like that. And then if that just does that, right, then surely all we have to do is pass in a new simple inventory serializer. And effectively we do the same thing here, right? So we do a for I loop and we read it. This can in fact be a record, as IntelliJ is suggesting. And I think that will therefore work. Now, that's not going to work for everything else, though. So, fluid storages, for example, that's not going to work. So, what we will have to do is effectively do the same thing. So, we'll create a public record. This will be a fluid storage serializer, which sure can take in t extends storage of fluid variant, and then we take in t storage, and then we just implement view serializable. And then we just do write data. Then we do that. And then we do read data. And we do basically the exact same thing. And what that allows us to go ahead and do is to do a for I loop. I is less than this.tanks or this.storages.size. And basically do this. Not quite that. So we do view utils dot put child view tank I new serializer, and then we do the exact same thing here for reading. So we do for I and we do read child like that. And I mean, that will work. The other option, of course, is that we say like extend storage and like serializable fluid tank or something, but I'm not going to do that. That's silly. So that's fine. Then we need to do the same for all of the other ones. So slurry storage as well, we have to do the exact same thing. So let's actually, to make this a bit simpler on ourselves, let's come into here, block entity, abstraction, I actually don't necessarily know this is correct, but we're gonna run with it, and it will either work or it won't. So we'll have to try. So we'll do public record. What's it called? Slurry. What did we call it in here? That's a simple inventory. Yeah, so here we should probably do the same thing. Let's do t extends simple inventory. Pass in t. And then just do like that. It's not strictly necessary, but it just makes it a little bit easier. And then let's make sure we're naming these consistently as well. So the last one we did was fluid, so let's just come in here. This was just a fluid storage serializer. That's fine. Okay. So then what we'll do here is we will do a slurry storage serializer. T extend storage of slurry variant. Write data. Boom. Read data. Read data. Boom, boom, boom. Lovely. And all we need to do is convert both of these into for I loops. So we do a for I. Hopefully Copilot can actually do this. View utils.child. Yep, fine. And then do the same thing here. Read child. Nice. Okay, next one will be energy. So let's come into here. Let's create a public static or a public record of a energy storage serializer, which will implement view serializable. It will take the write data, and it will do that, and then we'll take the read data, and we'll do that, and then we just do a for I loop. That can do that. Boom. And then we do another one in here. Nice. Fantastic. Okay, next one is going to be for gas. So obviously, exactly the same. Public record gas storage serializer. Implement view serializable. Let's do write data. Nice. And then read data. These are all exactly the same, but there isn't unfortunately really a way to solve that. So we just have to get over it. Yeah, that's fine. This is going to do the same. So this will turn into a for I loop. Nice. And Copilot is smart enough to read the other files I have open, so that's always nice. Okay, and then final one, I think, is the heat. And then later on I'll have to do pressure as well, but obviously right now we don't even have pressure. So this should once again be T extends heat storage. Not strictly necessary, but probably a good idea. So do view serializable, write data, boom, read data, boom. And then finally, let's put some for I loops in here. This is very different, or well, I guess not really that different. So we should do that, and then I think we do if we do that, right? Is that correct? Yes, that's fine. And then exact same thing here. This is not correct. I don't know why I got this one wrong. That's interesting. This is view utils, and that's recharge. That one's fine. Okay. Lovely. So hopefully that fixes all of our problems. Should we give it a try? I suspect there is a way we can simplify that process, but we'll worry about that in the future. Hopefully Spino didn't mess up any of the other ones as well, but we will see. Okay. Let's see if this works. Hopefully it does, in which case we can move on. I want to ideally try and test kind of the entire aluminium processing line, if possible. But obviously we'll see how that goes. For now, I'm going to go ahead and just press play, and we'll see what happens. So that's empty right now, as expected, because it didn't save. Because of that exact same problem. So if we grab once again bauxite and sodium hydroxide, put them in, let's get rid of that. Hopefully I still don't see anything interesting. Very surprised. So in this case it is actually calling the method. But it's not, I guess, doing anything. Let's try and figure out why, shall we? So, okay, step one. I think the best bet of step one is to look at the state and see what is in the item render states. So if we come into here, item render states, we have our state 0, and in the layers we have, hopefully, I don't know if there's a way we can actually like read this to see what item it is. I unfortunately don't think there is, which is a little bit of a shame. But okay. So what does this do again? So this just calls render. And if I recall correctly, render does the like submit itself, doesn't it? It actually doesn't, interestingly enough. So I wonder if maybe we have to plonk that in a submit custom. So let's have a look. So if we go into like here, for example. No, because render takes in the queue, right? So we can do, maybe we need to do clear and update. Possibly. Oh, that creates a new state though. Okay. So here we just call render. Interesting. And then let's find usages. And if we look at so this is the, okay, I see. Okay. Well, we are just calling render. Let's actually go ahead and step into this, maybe. So what does that kind of get us? So if we step into render here, this has no layers. The layer count is 0, but there is a layer, which is interesting. How does layer count get incremented? By calling new layer, or by calling add layers. Interesting. Add layers. The interesting thing about that is that in theory, I see. We need to do state dot update item render state 0, and then do get stack 0, or yeah. So the specific state we have here, we're saying there's 1. I think that's correct. Not necessarily the correct stack though, is the only problem. And I think the problem there is that we have multiple stacks. So what we could do is we can come into here and we can actually say that there is 6 stacks. And then what that means is that here we can just do a for I loop for I is less than 6. And then we can just call that update item render state for that specific stack. And that kind of solves that problem for us. Here we are calling the 0 index, but once again, we'll probably just want to call index in here. And then if we go ahead and run that again, I actually don't think I needed to restart the game, but that will. We'll try it. And I think that will work. That should solve all of our problems. In theory. Obviously, we will see. But I believe it will. And then the next thing, obviously, will be to fix is to figure out why the blades are not spinning. I think that's happening because we're taking the state here and trying to modify it, whereas that's not possible. We can't do that. So I don't know how we're going to do that. We'll have to do something with progress, or I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, so there you go. You can see our items are correctly spinning around. They're being scaled correctly. Nice. Okay, fantastic. So yeah, let's figure out why this isn't working. I think it is just this. I don't really know how to fix this part though. So obviously they're spinning correctly. Now previously we had it so the blades pretty much synced up, so it didn't look super weird. I don't know how we would do that without or enlarge the game, but it doesn't need to be any luck. Okay, fine, I will enlarge the game. So needy, Lomorph. There, is that large enough? Is that large enough? Happy? Happy now? No, it's actually kind of a pain to now make it smaller because I made it so big that it's gone way off the OBS window. Okay. Yeah, it has to be small because of it kind of just doesn't really work otherwise. But yeah, so those are spinning around. That's fine. It's because of this. We could try. I don't think this is going to work, but what we could try is to use state.progress and then divide that by the... That's not going to work, but you can see what that does, I guess. That actually just doesn't do anything from here. Is that because we need to do that? Is that why? Interesting. I actually did think that would do something. What is stirring rotation being used for here? So state.stirring rotation. Right, I see. And the stirring rotation is just block entity.stirring rotation. I see. Yeah, that's not going to work. What we will have to do, get rid of that. Let's just do float stirring rotation is equal that, or whatever our calculation ends up being, and then just do that. Why are they gone? Okay, I don't know why they're gone. That's interesting. So this is using the yaw. Let's think about the yaw. Yaw is... God, I don't remember. Yaw, I don't think is the right one. We're not looking for roll, though. We're looking for pitch? Doesn't seem to be. It's not the roll, I don't think. I don't think it is the yaw, though. I guess it might be. If we go ahead and pump out this bauxite slurry real quick. It might just be because... I don't know why I'm searching for bauxite. I'm looking for a slurry pipe. I don't think it will be... Ow! There you go. Okay, that actually worked fine. I don't know why that doesn't... Like why they don't render when it's not processing. Like, that's kind of weird. Also... Okay, I was going to say, because that was a little bit weird. Why doesn't it say the amount? It's meant to say the amount. Don't know why it's not saying the amount. Does it never say the amount? Alright. Yeah, I don't know why the things are... I don't know why it's doing that. Is it because of this? Maybe? Translate. So this is for... No, that shouldn't make a difference, though. Oh, it's probably because we're doing a 0 divide by 0, I imagine. So if we do like but I don't necessarily know that should make a difference, but if we do like okay, how's the best way to solve that? If state dot is mixing, then do stirring rotation is equal that. There you go. And then if we just plonk another pipe on here. Nice. Now they won't disappear. They're not like perfectly synced. Yeah, also I need to have like a slurry trash can. That's not a thing I have, unfortunately. We haven't got that far. So for now I just have to do this. And that kind of works. Yeah, I mean, they're not like perfectly synced. Like they do sometimes join up and like overlap a little bit. Not a lot though. Like it's not extremely obvious. Oh, the bauxite's ran out because it's 3-to-1, 4-to-1. I mean, so if we put 3 more stacks in there, that'll be fine. Yeah, I mean they overlap sometimes, but like it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it because that's not really relevant to us updating. That's just an issue kind of with this block entity itself. And it's a rendering issue anyway, so Bastille will come along someday when I have the chance to kidnap him again. And we'll get that solved. So let me just remove... I'm actually just going to get rid of the stirring rotation in here. Get rid of it there. And then also go into the render state and get rid of it in there as well. Obviously, that means I'm going to have to restart the game to do any more changes, but that's fine. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So going from the mixer, after the mixer, trying to think, what do we have after the mixer? I think we have the digester, if my memory serves me correctly. Should we have a look? So we have, yes, the digester. So we take in that bauxite slurry, and that gives us out our sodium or dirty sodium aluminate. So what we can do digester. Now, the digester doesn't have any special rendering. So, like, we're not going to see anything because this one doesn't have anything. Eventually it may, but right now it doesn't. So, that's fine. We do just need to obviously give it some energy. I don't know where the energy goes in. Should we have a look? F3 and B. On this side, apparently. Yes, because this is the back side. Because I placed it the wrong way. But that's fine. Doesn't really matter. I think that means the output comes out down here, doesn't it? Yeah, which is a little bit weird. Let's just turn it around real quick. Like that. Which just makes that a little bit better to look at. And if we go ahead and just move the energy. Oh, we can actually put the energy in there. That's nice. I forgot I put that there. So that's nice. So if we just come around here and... Oh, that actually doesn't work. Interesting. Apparently the ports are placed in the wrong orientation. It's just a little bit annoying. Oh, apparently that... What? Okay, whatever. If that works... uh-oh. Invalid texture atlas ID, Minecraft : blocks. Interesting. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So this is actually in the slurry widget. So obviously something I did here didn't work previously. So what is this saying? Invalid texture atlas ID. So slowly render handler dot get sprites. So for whatever reason, so if we go into the implementations, I assume this is happening in here, right? So it's getting the missing sprite. Okay. And it doesn't like atlases dot blocks. Interesting. So okay, the interesting thing about that is that worked in the mixer. Right? Like that literally works in the mixer. Like if we go mixer screen, unless this isn't using a slurry widget. It is using the slurry widget. Which is the output. Oh, maybe it so it must be having an issue with the next slurry, which is this one. I don't think this is a slurry though. This is a fluid, isn't it? Yeah. And that actually shouldn't be the problem, which is interesting. So, because we know bulk size slurry isn't the problem, because that works on the mixer screen. Unless it... Yeah, it does. So this is happening during render screen, which is just happening during render. So that's like not anything special. Let's just scroll up a little bit so we can see both of these. So we get both the slurry tanks, we do the bounds, we do the pause, and we build it. Nothing special. Okay. I'm gonna run it again. And we're gonna see what it does. This I think should work. I don't know why that wouldn't work. Let me quickly have a look actually. Yeah, so actually interestingly enough here, vanilla uses sprite atlas texture dot block atlas texture rather than atlases dot blocks. So what we might want to consider doing is replacing that. So I'm actually going to go into the slurry API. I'm going to do this on my other monitor because it's like, it's going to take me like a second to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace that. Okay. Oh, I've broken it 1 second. Said it would take me a second, and then I proceeded to go ahead and break it. Let me quickly shut down Minecraft because I'm going to need to update the APIs and stuff. Which is fine. It just means it's going to take me a second. So I'm going to update to 1.2.1, and then I will quickly reload. Let me wait a minute. So this should only be an issue with the slurry API. Obviously gas API, heat API, neither of them do this, so those are fine. Okay, so that's done, and then I'm just going to go ahead and publish. And then I'm going to come into Industria. We're going to Gradle.properties. We're going to go down to slurry API version, and we'll go 1.2.1. And then let's go into the fabric.mod.json and just update that to 1.2.1. Let's reload Gradle so that goes ahead and downloads that from my Maven. Nice, boom. So those are done. And then if I close other tabs real quick and once that's done, which that now has done, I'm just going to do it again, just to make sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so then we can go ahead and run it. And that shouldn't crash anymore. Also going to close the slurry API so we don't keep that. Okay. And then next step will be the clarifier. So this is where we turn the dirty sodium aluminate into just sodium aluminate. So that's just fluid to fluid. And then that also gives us the red mud as the output. This one I think should work. I don't believe it does anything special. It actually might render the red mud as an item. Maybe. We'll have to have a look. Not sure. So let's have a look. So if we go into here, nice. Interesting. That's saying slurry.slurry.api.empty. I don't know if that's maybe because we just haven't registered a translation for that. Maybe. I don't know what's happening here, by the way. What? How is the creative battery empty? Okay, that must be an issue with the serialization of the creative battery. I think it must not be serializing beyond 10,000. I don't know why that would be the case, but that must be what happened there. It's actually kind of broken everything though. I think, isn't there a way I can... I think I added a way to revalidate the cables. Reset pipe networks. I don't know what that does, actually. I don't know if that clears them. Did that do anything? I don't think it likes that. Okay. I've actually broken something. Like, I don't know what I've done. This is no longer receiving energy, interestingly enough. What have I done? Have I invalidated the entire network somehow? Like, what have I done? So this has consumed like 5k. The pipe network, so those are broken as well. But that's gone ahead and fixed itself after I have revalidated that one. And that is fixing itself. But the cable networks are not. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break the entire thing. And for whatever reason, it's obviously just gone ahead and killed itself. Which is always nice. So we'll do that. Should be able to join them like that. I don't think that should cause any problems. It's capping at 10,000. This must be an issue with the... Oh, right. It's because of the battery. So batteries are actually a little bit... When I say a little bit, they're completely broken. They don't let you take out more than 10,000. It just doesn't work. So what I will have to do, easiest way to solve this is just going to be with a shit ton of wind turbines. I mean, this is more so an issue with the creative batteries than normal batteries. They will probably, I assume, have the same issue, but creative batteries are worse for whatever reason. So I think if I just do this, we should immediately see that can go. Yeah, so that's now gone beyond that value. That can go basically infinite. It's basically because the cables are inserting into the battery, and then the battery's inserting back into the cable, so it just gives this infinite loop. And so, yeah, it caps out at 10,000, but that's fine. That has somehow gone beyond... what is happening? Bro, what is happening today? Okay, whatever. I don't really care. That's not a problem. Let's continue. Has that fixed it? Oh, wait, does this cap out at 30,000 per network? No. Okay. Yeah. There's some bugs. Let's just put it like that. Okay, so we just bring this over to there. I'll go ahead and use that. That's fine. That's just filling back up. Okay, that's fine. And then if we just plonk that to there, that now gets all the energy it needs and should be processing it. It's actually not, though. I don't know why. Maybe because... Maybe it's just like thinking that maybe there's already something in there and it's just like invalidated itself, maybe? No? Does it need something else? Maybe it must need something else. Or... Oh, wait, 1 second. I think that might be... Actually, that shouldn't be why, but... I don't think it needs anything. What we can do, we can just hop into the digester block entity and see what it's doing. Because it's obviously getting stuck somewhere and realizing it can't proceed. In like the end game of the mod, like when I continue developing further, this is going to need temperature and pressure. I think it shouldn't need that right now, but maybe it is looking for it, and maybe that's why it's not working. Shouldn't be the case, but okay. So this is the bucket stuff. That should be fine because both of those slots are empty, so it should just skip those. If this.current recipe ID is equal null. Okay, so it's not null. So we'll step over. So it gets the current recipe. So if it's empty or it's not the current recipe, so that shouldn't be the case. So it should skip over that. That gets us the recipe. If this.progress is greater than or equal to this.max progress, which is true, what does it do? So it gets the output fluid storage. What's in the output fluid storage? Oh, so there's 405,000 of empty fluid. How has that happened? Interesting. That shouldn't be possible, but I actually don't know how that's possible, because here it sets the variant, so it shouldn't ever have set it to an empty variant. I don't really know how that's happened. I assume can insert is therefore returning false. Yeah. Variant is equal that, or this variant is blank. That should be returning true, actually. Interesting. This should definitely be returning true. And fluid stack dot amount. Oh. I see. 1 second. That's why. So all we need to do is we need to do this. Or this dot variant is blank. So this needs to be in brackets. And therefore, hot swapping that now should mean that if we go back in here, and if we just press play again. Oh! Wait! What is happening? That somehow made it worse. How has that made it worse? Output fluid storage. What's in there now? Now there is fluid in there. Okay. And has energy. But it can't insert it. Why? So this dot variant is an Industria fluid. And that is what? So that is dirty sodium aluminate. So is this dot variant the same as fluid stack dot variant? So fluid stack dot variant is, if we look here, should be exactly the same. It should be dirty sodium aluminate. And we can check the exact hash code here. So 3A6D0B0F. 3A6D0B0F. So that should be true. And fluid stack dot amount. So fluid stack dot amount is what? 27,000. And that is less than this dot capacity, which is 405,000. Negative this dot amount, which is because okay, right. So what it's done is it's set the variant, but it's still adding to the amount. So even though it's basically changed that emptiness into the correct variant, and therefore it's now overflowed. So it can't insert. Question I have though is why can't it extract? Why is... Oh, because I removed the fluid pipe. Interesting. Why isn't it rendering here though? 1 second. Let's go into the digester screen. And if we go here, so this dot x plus 132. This dot y plus 10. 20, 46. 132? Would that be here? It's probably about there. I think. Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be about there. Interesting. That makes me think that maybe on the client side, there's no fluid. We can see if that's the case. So if we do fluid, if we go in here, breakpoint this. So here it thinks it's an empty fluid. Okay. Okay. So why? Oh, this is... Wait, this is the mixer? Wait. What? Wait. I'm so confused. How is... This is not the mixer, though. Remove watch. Oh, that was just a watch expression. Okay. I was going to say, this is not the mixer. Absolutely not the mixer. So yeah, it's saying here it's empty. So for whatever reason, basically, it's not syncing it. If we go into here, we have output fluid storage. That is being added to the synced ones, though. Oh no, that's output fluid inventory. Output fluid storage. Which is an output fluid storage, which is a predicate which is syncing. Okay. Okay. That should be fine. I wonder if, ever since it's done this... No, it has called update, though. Output fluid storage.variant. Maybe there's something wrong with the wrapped fluid storage. Let me have a look at... Oh no, because this one's working. And this one's working? Yes. Why is there no amount on this one, bro? I'll tell you what, some weird shit's happening. Some really weird shit is happening. Okay, so this is obviously stationary because it's full, right? So if I add more fluid pipes like this, that's now working. That's fine. Wait, this is the output. This is the output. Look, when it processes, this goes up. How is that happening, though? Slurry storage, slurry storage amount, negative equals that. Input fluid storage amount is equal to and then we go into the that's taking in the slurry storage. So if we go into render here, what on earth is the slurry? It's empty. But why is the amount going up? So slurry tank is 162,000. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, this is a weird one. I see. Everything's making sense. I just clocked it. So what's happening, since we changed the storages here, not the inventory one, that one's fine, right? So if we go into the slurry storage and the fluid storage, I'm writing them both as tank underscore and tank underscore. So they're like interchanging. So this needs to be fluid tank underscore, and that needs to be fluid tank underscore. Oh no, this needs to be slurry tank underscore, and not slurry. Oh my god, this one needs to be fluid tank underscore. The energy storage, this is why that broke and the entire system broke. So this needs to be energy storage underscore. Hello Alex, welcome to the stream. Hello Ilya, welcome to the stream. The entire gang is here. Yes, Lomorph, I agree, the entire gang is here. Everyone has just popped up out of nowhere. Then in here, these need to be heat storage. That's why these are all breaking, because they're overwriting each other. This one needs to be inventory capital I, just for consistency really. And then, yeah, we've done slurry storage. Okay. So now we're going to have to restart the game, and I think we're going to have to reset the entire system because they're not going to have anything in them anymore. Because we basically just wiped everything. But yeah, okay. Hopefully everything will work now. We shouldn't have any weird bugs anymore. I say that fully well knowing we're about to have some really weird bugs, but hopefully not with the digester anymore. That's it. Fingers crossed. Okay, so let's go in. Well, we shouldn't have anything in any of the storages. Yes, that's correct. Let's get rid of that breakpoint so we don't have that anymore. And I suspect we'll have to reset all the pipe networks. Yeah, so let's quickly do Industria reset pipe networks. And then we'll just have to click all of them. And that will just recreate them all. Okay, and hopefully... That unfortunately hasn't done anything. Why? Why are you not going in? I don't know. Ah, that's why. Try again. Hopefully, that should. You wanna go in? Let's try again. It might be because... Yeah, so this probably has an empty fluid in it now. So if we just get rid of that, let's do, once again, Industria reset pipe networks. And then let's place the fluid pump back down. Now, I don't know how we're going to do this because it is rotatable. So I think if I place it here, it's not going to... Oh, no. That is fine. Okay. I'm lucky. My lucky day. Nice. So now that has water in it. Now this one should have water in it. There you go. Okay. Then let's recreate this one. Recreate this one. And this should now... Okay, so this probably has an empty fluid in it now. So we're going to have to replace down the mixer again. Yeah, okay. We just have to basically flush the system. That's what we're doing right now. So that's fine. Nice. Okay, there we go. So we're starting to make it back. We're probably going to have to do the same here as well. So let's just place the digester back down. Not like that. It needs to go the other way around because of my jank code. Yeah. Once again, because my jank code, I have to place those back down. This only happens on the digester though, for some reason. I don't know why. Oh no, never mind. I was wrong. It happens on all of them. Oh yeah, that's really happened on all of them now. Okay. All the connection points are broken. Okay. Are they broken over here? No, it's only on the multi-blocks. Yeah, so hopefully, if we now grab... Let's clear my inventory, because I have too many things now. Okay, so if we put some bauxite in there, and then we put some sodium hydroxide in there, and once again, it's a 4-to-1, so I'm going to grab, actually, 4 stacks of bauxite. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should all spin around. We should get some bauxite slurry. Hopefully in here. Yes, it's not rendering though. Okay, so I've gone ahead and set a breakpoint. I don't know if you guys can see it. 1 second. You cannot. Let me quickly do this again. There we go. Okay, so if we look in here, yeah, it still thinks it's empty. So Let's just go back to the slurry storage. Did I miss something in here? No. And then that writes the slurry. Interesting. Okay. I mean, it is only on the client, so like I'm not too worried about this right now. It is a little bit annoying, though. I wonder actually... Hello, Mean Man. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I think this is working. It's just not rendering in here for whatever reason. But, like, everything is fine, like, in here. So... I don't know. We'll come back to the digester. So the next one was the clarifier. Now, I vividly remember with the clarifier, the slurry goes in the... No, not the slurry. The fluid goes in the top. Now, I don't know... I think this, once again, needs to be placed a specific way round. Yeah, it needs to be placed that way round. These are all the old multi-blocks, by the way, everyone. So the ports are really buggy, but when we switch over to the new system, which will be done at some point, that won't be a problem anymore. So if we go ahead and just quickly pump this into here, hopefully we'll see that rendered in here. Fingers crossed, chat. Fingers crossed. I'll make the game a little bit bigger so you guys can see. There we go. I don't think this one needs energy. We can actually look. Does it have an energy port? No. So this one doesn't need energy. So if we put that in there... Oh, we can see something. What's the zoom key? Oh, I don't have the zoom mod anymore. Come on. Item. Is it coming? There it is. Not goofy at all. Not goofy at all. Oh, hello. Okay, that fluid is not rendering properly. Okay, interesting. So let's go to the clarifier block entity renderer and figure out why. So we're updating the item states, submit model. So that's just the model, which doesn't have a state, so that's fine. And then render input fluid is the problem. Now, okay, so this issue is actually with render top face only. Interesting. Doesn't this just call the yeah, so this just calls submit custom, but I see. So okay, right, so what we have to do is we just have to move these to there, and then that should work. And then I think if we get rid of that, rename that to entry, that should work. I don't think we can hot swap that, unfortunately. No, we can't. But if we restart the game, that should work. I do just need to move this matrices.pop down to there. And then, yeah, that should work. We might have to do that somewhere else in here as well. Am I correct? Yes. Let's actually, before we start the game then, let's quickly go ahead and do that here as well. That needs to happen there. I think this now can just use fill percentage. I don't think that needs to be final fill percentage anymore. I don't need any of those shenanigans. So that just uses the entry in all of those. That does need to be fill percentage though. But that will have to be made a final one. But that's fine. What is this? Oh, an indeterminate boolean. Okay, right. Yeah, that's fine. And then we just need to move this down to there. And that'll work. That'll be fine. Okay. Fantastic. I'm actually gonna not do that in the... We don't want to do that in the render thread. So we'll just do that there. That's fine. And then I think that's all of them. I don't think there's any others hiding in here. Oh, there actually is. So it's a good job I checked. So all of these ones as well. It's going to be the exact same thing as you can expect. But those just need to go down there. And that can even be a expression lambda. Which, meh. It's alright, I guess. And then I imagine there's some other ones. Is there any others? No, because all the others call those through overload and whatnot, so that's fine. I think that should fix everything. I think that should be fine. So if we run it now, that's fine. Why do you control exit rather than control shift arrow key? Because I don't know, I just do. I don't need to. I just do. I always have. So it's kind of habit at this point. Okay. So that should that kind of should fix a lot of issues elsewhere as well. But yeah, let's see. Okay, loom caches are dead. Oh, why are we decompiling? I didn't tell it to decompile. But okay. Let's just do that, I guess. Have you had a nice day? I have had yeah, sure. I haven't had a bad day. I mean, I haven't had an amazing, like, it's just been a very average day. Like, incredibly average, to be honest. I haven't really done much today. I mean, I've done some on... Oh, actually, I have, actually. I've been working on Turtybot quite a lot today. Because I really want to fix the friggin' economy system. But yeah, I've been working on that quite a bit today. I think I was also working a little bit on Railroad. Because I've been trying to work on the console window for Railroad. Actually, I think I was doing that last night, not today. Or did I do that this morning? I don't know. I did it recently. A lot of things I've been doing. I need to work on my portfolio at some point, my website, because it's shit. Like, it's really bad. Most of the links are just dead links. They're just 404, which obviously does not look good. Okay, nice. So that's now rendering as it should. And yeah, we're not going to see... Oh no, we do see a fluid render down here as well. Fantastic. Okay, that's nice. I wasn't sure if we did or not, but that's good. Okay, nice. I think we can even... these are really small, by the way. But I think we can put a chest here. I think. Yeah, we can. Okay, fantastic. So that will just go through there. I kind of want to try and have this be like a big automatic process, kind of as much as possible, right? So this will output. Now, I don't know what comes after the clarifier, though. Let's have a look. Because I actually don't remember. The crystallizer, of course. Yes, okay. So in the crystallizer, we take the sodium aluminate, which is right here. And we take that along with water And then we take aluminum hydroxide as well, and that gives us out aluminum hydroxide and sodium carbonate. Now, how do you get aluminum hydroxide though? Oh, right. Okay. The aluminum hydroxide is the catalyst, so it makes the recipe go faster. So this is optional. You don't have to provide the aluminum hydroxide. But if you do, then it makes it go faster, and then that outputs 8. So basically you can feed it back through, I guess, which would give you more. Or not give you more, but it would make it go faster. What is this? What are you? Multi-block piece. Okay, I don't know why you're there. Let's get rid of you, because we're going to need some space in a minute to have the rotary kiln and stuff. We might have to go maybe off the edge. Should we do that anyways, actually? Should we just head it like this direction? Just have it in like one big row. I think let's do that instead. Hello, Basti. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, sodium aluminate. You should get world edit so you can make platforms. Yeah. I mean, I could try /fill, but honestly, every single time I ever try to use /fill, I end up just like destroying everything. So I'm kind of hesitant to do that. Yeah, I kind of should get world edit, but I'm kind of updating mods and shit, you know, so I don't know. Choose F3. Yeah, but it's complicated, man. Because I'm like, okay, like right now I'm at -7, -60, and 24, right? And I basically want to go like, well, I actually don't need to go all the way, so I need to go to like here, right? So I need to go to -27, 60, and 6 from what, -7. I don't know, man. I'm already lost. Someone can figure it out if you want to do that. For now, I'm just gonna build into the void. Okay, so crystallizer. This one does have visuals, I think, but I don't know that they're amazing visuals. I don't really remember. I think if I... Oh! Whoa! Okay, I actually knew this was going to happen at some point. I didn't know it was going to happen with this one, but I knew it was going to happen at some point. Luckily, this is an easy peasy fix. So this one, I just forgot to override the create render state and update render state as well. Max progress, whatever. And then I assume, are there any items that we're rendering? We're rendering, yes, 0. So we need to do state.update item render state 0. Needs this, and then block entity. This block entity. And then the stack, which I think is just state.next output item stack. Okay. That should work. That should fix that. This doesn't need any state or anything, so that's fine. Did Basti write this, or did I write this? I don't remember. I think I wrote this, actually. Because it doesn't look like anything special. I think I wrote this. Yeah, I must have wrote this. Oh, yeah, definitely. I think so. Okay, so... Now, that shouldn't have corrupted the world or anything, because that was just a rendering thing. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's just go F3 and B and see if we're facing the right direction. I would say we are not. Yeah, that doesn't look right. Something looks wrong. Oh, Uh-oh. That's not normal. It must have crashed before... I'm guessing what happens is it crashed before the server was able to place all the blocks. Maybe. Is that what happened? Yeah, it is. Okay. I thought so. So is that the right way? No, that doesn't look right either. Okay, I don't know what way this one needs to be placed then. Is it this way? Nope, I think it must be this way then. Or does this one just not work? What the hell is going on here? What is happening? Why is this broken in every single direction? I guess it's kind of not. Like, I guess this kind of works. But some of these are clearly broken. Like, I don't know what this one's for. That obviously goes... What, like what? Where did that even go? It must go this way. Does it go in? Yeah, it goes in. So obviously some of these ports are just not facing the right way. Okay. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. So what did this one need? This one needed water. So that provides us a little bit of an issue because the water's over here. Unless we want to make another fluid pump. I think we can probably just pump it under. Let's just pump it under. Like this. It should be able to go under this. Nice. Okay. Keep going. I don't know where it needs to go in is the only problem. So green... I don't know what green is, actually. Green, I think, is items? And then blue... So blue is fluid, so we need to get that pipe up here. So... Best way to do that... Let's bring it up, like, here. That'll work. Okay. So we'll do that. Nice. Okay. And then we'll just go under and we just connect that up. Okay. And hopefully, nice. That now has the water. That's overlapping. How did I never notice this? Or did I just not care? I feel like I don't know. I thought I would have noticed that and fixed that. Because that's like such an easy fix. But whatever. I was obviously lazy. And I still am because I'm too lazy to fix that right now. So what was the other things it needed? It needs this. I assume those go in the back. But that's not gonna work, is it? How the hell are you meant to do this? Yeah, it's gonna have to be facing a different way then, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna have to be facing like that. Non-negotiably. Which is fine, I guess. It's a bit weird, but it's fine. Okay, and then this is gonna have to come up like that. And that's gonna have to actually go around to the back. So I think that's fine. As long as it doesn't it can't touch any of the other pipes, because obviously then it's gonna cause issues. But I can obviously put one there, right? Oh, only problem is I can't put one here because it'll connect to here. So I will have to do this. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Okay. It's ugly, but no one cares, so it's fine. Okay, so that's both of those in there. It actually looks like it doesn't need energy, though. Or at least there's no energy bar. This isn't one that needs heat, is it? I hope not. Because that's a pain in the arse if it needs heat. I can actually look at water, sodium aluminate, aluminum hydroxide. Yeah, that's the optional. But, like, does it need energy? Fluid storage, inventory storage. No. I bet actually what's happened here is they're the wrong way around. Yeah, I bet these are the wrong way round. It probably has to be water in the back. That actually kind of makes it easier for us, though. So that means what we can do... actually makes it a lot easier if that's the case, and I think that probably is the case. So I think this is actually meant to go in the top, and then the water goes in the back. And then if I just place this back down, I think it was this way, was it? No, it was the other way. Like that. Yeah, now I just have to place those back down again. Like that, and like that. Am I correct, is my assumption? Oh yeah, the rendering of this was a little bit broken because it's thanks to translucency. I don't know. Now, is this breaking because it doesn't have enough sodium aluminate? I assume that is the case. So we need kind of an infinite supply of bauxite and sodium aluminate into here. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any like debug way to do that or anything. So the best kind of solution, oops, meant to just do that. I'm just gonna have to do it like this. Okay, and then we're just gonna have to wait for that to propagate all the way down. So that'll have to go through the digester like that, and then that'll have to go back into here, and then once this reaches a bucket, it will then go into here, and we'll just have to wait for that to fill up. Because I assume it's one, I think it's one bucket of this to one bucket of this or something. So we'll just have to wait a second. Obviously, in an ideal setup, you have to have your ratios, right? So I think you have to have like 4 of these, and then I think it's 2 of these. I did set it up so that there are specific ratios. I don't know what they are, but there are ratios that obviously make it work. This just needs to process one more time, and then this will run, and then we'll have the items hopefully out the front. Yes, we do. Okay, fantastic. So we can have a chest. Now, we don't have item pipes in the mod, which is a little bit unfortunate. Now, hopefully, yeah, there you go. So they're starting to process. And this one takes a minute to do that. I think eventually this also needs like heat or something. I don't think it needs pressure, but I think this one will need heat, if I recall correctly. We'll see. Yeah, so these are also just starting to crystallize. Now, they do just float, which obviously isn't necessarily ideal, but yeah, heat pressure. We have slurries, we have heat, we have pressure, we have gas. Is that all of them? Yeah, slurries, heat, pressure, gas. For now. I'm considering moltens, but I think they're just going to be fluids. I'm not sure. I haven't really decided. Yeah, okay, so that gives us our sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate. Wait, no, aluminium hydroxide. And yeah, I can put these back in, and that now functions as a catalyst. So that's good. Now, these actually aren't exporting, unfortunately. Is that because I'm putting it on the wrong one? I don't know why I just got another chest out. No, that obviously just doesn't work properly, unfortunately. Yeah, look how much faster that is. That went so much faster because we've got the catalyst. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately this is where it gets manual then, because we can't extract. Because I don't suppose any of these go down. Obviously if they do, then we can use a hopper, right? But they don't. Yeah. Which is a shame. Little bit annoying. I mean, they should push into a chest. I'm not actually sure why they're not. Probably because there's 2 outputs? Maybe? Oh, maybe these are inputs. These might be inputs, actually. These might be inputs for the catalysts. I don't know, actually. When did you make this? Because I feel like you missed some stuff that you did. I made this a very long time ago. Like a couple months ago. Like probably like 6 months ago, maybe? But also at the time, I didn't have like a port setup. So it just had to, everything had to be input manually. Or at least for items, I think. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest. It was a very long time ago. Okay, yeah. I can't put more in here. Oh, I can put more in here. I did make it so you can do that. Okay, that's nice. Anyways, we have this. That's good. So next is the rotary kiln. Right, okay, so this is Basti's. This is Basti's baby. So let's grab the rotary kiln. Okay, and we're just going to have to make a platform manually. Okay, now the rotary kiln is very far from being complete because it needs to have the big burner in here as well at some point. But I haven't got that far yet. Okay, nice. That's probably way too much, actually. I didn't really need to make it that big, but well. So we'll just put that down. Why is that not rendering anymore? Why are you not rendering anymore? Is it, Wait, why is that not rendering anymore? What the hell? Interesting. Let's have a look. That worked before, so I've obviously broken something since. I actually don't know what I would have broke, but we can have a look. So... oh, it's because of this. Because that's empty, so it's not rendering anything. I don't think I need to, like, do that. I think I can just get rid of that. Oh, that's not ideal. Why? Why are you doing that? I mean, it's somewhat worked, because it is only rendering this part, but then these other parts are still rendering for some reason, so we'll have to have a look at why that's happening. So if we quickly pop ourselves into here, so let's have a look at the code then. So we start at segment 1 to 15. We get the segment I is less than the segment count, so it's not I is less than or equal to the segment count. Oh, then we do the rotations, right? Otherwise we do segment.hidden. It should work. I don't know why that wouldn't work. So segment should have children. But the children is actually only cube R1. Interesting. Seg 12, and then seg 12 has rotate seg 12. Interesting. So cube, what is cube R1 then? Oh, we start, oh no, we don't. Wait, do we? Seg 0. No, we don't start at seg 1. So it gives the segment, right? So what is the segment this time? Does it now have different children? Yeah, so that has cube R2, but that should then be hidden. Segment should become hidden, but for whatever reason, maybe it's not doing that for the children of that segment, I guess. So what I will have to do is I will have to do segment.hidden is equal true, and then segment.traverse dot for each part.hidden is equal true. And unfortunately I'm not going to be able to hot swap that. Yeah, what I could do then as a kind of more temporary solution is just do part.hidden is equal true like that. And I think if I press play, that now works. There we go. So now hopefully if I place the next one, no, unfortunately not actually. So if I is less than or equal to segment count, else, wait. If I is less than or equal to segment count. So let's say where I equals 1. Oh, so this should just be less than. I is less than segment count, I think. No? Right, again, maybe? Oh. I is less than segment count. That shouldn't be the case because I should be equal to 1. Right? I is 1. And segment count is 1. Oh. Right. So it should be less than or equal. So why is it hitting this else statement? Else segment.hidden is equal true. So I is 1. Right? So we get the segment. And what is segment count? So state segment count is equal 1. So we step into there. Right. So then we don't do anything. So now I becomes 2. Right. So we get the segment. Okay. And then segment becomes hidden. But is this not? Yeah, so that's seg 2. So that's the rotating one. So that's fine. So why isn't this rendering? Maybe I have to do segment dot hidden is equal false, but I don't think I should have to do that. Okay, I have to do that for whatever reason. No, I don't have to do that. I have to do this regardless, apparently. I shouldn't have to because of the set super here, but I guess I do. Okay. Good night, Lone Wolf. I actually have to do this? Okay. We have to place the stone down. It doesn't have to come that far, but... Okay. So now we can build this entire thing all the way until we reach the end. Oh! I actually didn't think it had to come this far. Okay, there we go. So that's the rotary kiln. so then what we do is we can grab all of the aluminum hydroxide, lovely jubblies, and we can put them all in here. So we can grab a hopper and go boom into there. Come all the way to the end. We can just plonk a quick chest on here. Why are they not rotating? Good question. Let me leave the game and come back. Maybe it's bugging out. Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why that's happening. We'll have to come back to that at some point. Figure out why that's happening. But okay, Basti's baby works, so that's good. And then I think that's it. So I think after that, we have obviously the electrolyzer. I don't know if the electrolyzer works, actually. I don't remember. I don't know if that's where we left off, or... I think we left off at the arc furnace. At least that's what I thought. Because this gives us out alumina. And at alumina, that's where you have to take it down the process of going into... yeah, so this gives you out the molten aluminium. Okay, I don't remember what the arc furnace was for then. I haven't touched this in so long, man. My chemistry knowledge is slacking at this point. Let me quickly just fill this in so it doesn't look as weird. Not that it obviously matters too much, but it should be a little bit nicer, I suppose. There we go. I'll just come out a little bit further here as well. Do you know what? I'll do this as well. Nice. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so obviously eventually we're going to have a big, like a flame here, like a big gas flame. And that's going to come down the whole thing, pretty much. I don't... Yeah, it probably won't come down the whole way. I imagine it will probably end about here, maybe. Which is obviously how this entire thing works. Oh, yeah. So we have the electrolyzer, and then, right, so the next thing was then cassiterite, which is... tin? Is that tin? I'm actually going to have to Google. I think it's tin. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah. So tin goes through the crusher. Then it goes through the shaking table, which will turn it into cassiterite concentrate. Then it goes through the centrifugal concentrator, which turns it into cassiterite concentrate. Wait, what? Oh, you're right. So it has to go through several layers of concentration. So the first one is the shaking table. Then it's the centrifugal concentrator, so that makes it more concentrated. And then I think it's when it goes into the arc furnace, I think. Obviously, in real life, there's more layers than that, but, you know, we simplify it a little bit. Yeah, so this is alumina, and then this goes into the electrolyzer. That's the next one. Now, electrolyzer, I do have here, so let's see. Is this a multi-block? I really don't remember. Oh my god. Right, okay, I remember this now. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't think it's meant to look like this. I think it's meant to be... Once again, I think it's a rotation issue. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Yeah, it's only designed for a specific rotation, which is obviously this one. Yeah, so after that you have your electrolyzer. Now, I don't know what's what in terms of this. Obviously, this top one is energy. Red is gas? No, red must be temperature. Yeah, red is heat, I think. And then what else do we even have here? So we have green, which is items. And then I think, doesn't it also have yeah, it has fluids as well. So it has molten cryolite and molten aluminium. And gases as well, yes, because it gives off carbon dioxide. Right. Okay. So if we grab all the things we need for this one. So it doesn't take in any of those. Yeah, okay. So if we put the alumina in there, the alumina is in here, but that's fine. I think that is the correct slot. I think it will automatically go into the right slot. So that's fine. So alumina, then carbon rod. Oh, these can't be stacked. Oh, because they have durability. Yes. Okay. Because this is the... I'm not going to get it right. That's the anode? Or is that the cap? I don't friggin' know, man. Oh, man. I haven't touched this in so long. My entire knowledge of, like, the whole system has just gone down the drain. It's one of the two. I think it's the anode. I don't know. You're here, Ilya. Which one is it? Which one is the carbon rod? Is it that? I think it's the anode. I may be misremembering. And then you have the... Yeah. And then it needs coal. Trying to remember. I don't think this is the right slot. I thought it goes here. Does it not? Because I thought this slot was for the fuel. Because it has its own, like, combustion engine. I thought. Because we don't have, like, heat stuff yet. Is that not right? Maybe that's not right. I don't also remember what the coal is for. That's not the... Is this coal goes in there? Now I'm confused. Why is it letting me put coal in there? Cryolite. So I can put cryolite in here. Where does that go? Okay, it's letting me... No, I think coal goes in there. I'm sure coal goes in there. Okay, one second. It might need energy. That might be why we're not seeing anything happening. The cathode is supposed to be like a carbon lining around the walls and floors. Yeah, so I think how I... that might be it. So I think how I did it is you have to put coal in there. And it, like, you know, lines it for you. Obviously, it doesn't really make sense, but it's a Minecraft mod. I think that's how I did it. I don't know. I had the whole thing figured out of how I was going to do it, but I don't remember. Because I don't know what these slots are for. That kind of tells you that this UI is not good. Because I don't know what the slots are for. This might not even be for the alumina. Like, why can't I even put stuff in here? That looks like an output slot. That must be an output slot, actually, right? That must be for the... Oh no, because it doesn't have any output items. And oh, maybe this is the cathode. Maybe this is for the coal, and then... But then that would make sense that the carbon rod would go in there, no? Maybe because you want the electrolyzer to be more general. Yeah, that as well. Yeah, I wanted it to be more I don't want you to have to make an electrolyzer for all the different recipes. That'd be weird, I think. You know, you don't want to have like a specifically made electrolyzer for that can only ever be used for a specific process. I think that would just be frustrating. But I admittedly don't remember how this works. You know what I can do, actually? I can go to my YouTube. I can go to my live streams, and I can try and find the one where I added the electrolyzer. Because I got it working. I remember it working. Because we moved on to the centrifugal concentrator. So, I know we got it working. Electrolyzer, here we go. I found it. Okay, so I've put the cryolite there. I actually don't have the carbon rod in here. Oh, no, the carbon rod is meant to go in there. But it can't for some reason. I don't know why. So the coal is in the right place, the alumina is in the right place, the cryolite is in the right place. The carbon rod is meant to go here. Maybe it can't because it doesn't have energy, or maybe it is just broken. I don't know. How can we even get energy over there? Because that's really far. Not easily. Let's just put it like that. I think we'll just go under again. I need a friggin' quantum entangler border. Let's become mechanism. Okay. The other issue is it needs to be in the friggin' top. I don't know why. So why? Bro, this multi-block is so broken for some reason. I don't know why. I swear it's just the same as the other ones. I don't know. It must not be the same as the other ones, but I thought it was. Okay, so let's bring that under. And then I'm gonna have to like somehow connect that. Okay, I will just bring it this way. Okay, I can't get in line with it, so I can't just friggin'... Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, is that in line? Or is that actually one over? Not sure. You need to come one down. Okay, then... Nope. Oh my god. Wait, these cables are like so hard to join up. Okay. Okay, yeah, I thought it was one over. It didn't look right. So maybe that lets me put you in there? No. Okay, in that case, what we can do real quick, let me quickly make this a bit smaller for a second. Let's go into the electrolyzer block entity and try and see why we can't put that in there. It must have some predicate, and it must be just saying like no. Is entangled electrolysis rods. So maybe for some reason this is not in that tag? I don't think that's true, but we can have a look, I suppose. No. So if we go generated, data, Industria, tags, item. Interesting. I must have never generated the tag. Well, that would be why then, wouldn't it? That would be exactly why. So if we go to item tag provider, yeah, and then let's just do why do I even have my own steel ingots tag? Am I even using this? No. So why does it exist then? Right. Oh, wait. Wait, what? Okay, this doesn't need to exist. That can just go. Oh. Why did I do it like that, though? That's so weird. That's not, like, okay, sure. But, like, I don't know why I did that. Because I can just do this. Whatever. Anyways, let's go value lookup provider. Let's go item tags, or what did I call it? Tag list dot items dot electrolysis rods, and then let's do add item minute dot carbon rod. And then if we quickly just go ahead and run data gen, is it a bit bad that each feeds at 9:30 at night? For you, yes, it is. Okay, let's also put some more in here. Let's do bauxite. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's go sodium, hydroxide, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Just let that run through again whilst we're, you know, faffing about over here. Oh, that's not... Wait, no, why isn't that running? I don't know why that's not running. Must have just finished, I guess. I need to fix this. I don't know why the ports are so broken on this one. I mean, they're broken on all of them, to be fair. But as I say, this is the old multi-block system, so I don't really care enough to be worrying about that. Okay, so I've built the project. There we go. Also going to make the Minecraft window bigger again, so you guys can see it. So we're about to do some absolute madness. And then, yeah, we need to do /reload. I'm also going to do F3 and T, but I shouldn't need to do F3 and T, because obviously that's resources compared to, or assets compared to data. And then hopefully, nice. Okay, so that's given me molten cryolite. Right. Yes. Okay. I see. Right, because what I've done is I've fake told it that it has temperature. Obviously it doesn't have temperature, but it thinks it has temperature because we don't have like a temperature thing yet. So that's fine. So that will do its thing, and hopefully that will output molten aluminum and something. What was the other thing? And carbon dioxide, but what was the other thing? There was another thing, right? Or am I imagining it? And so you got molten cryolite, but that's not an output, is it? I think that's considered an input. Oh, that is the two things: molten aluminum and carbon dioxide. So that'll be these two. So one of these will be a gas, and one of these will be a thing. Why is this not working? Oh, right, because this uses an insane amount of energy. Right, I remember now. This uses like a lot of energy. Like a lot. All of these wind turbines cannot support that. Bear in mind, to be fair, oh no, we're on like 104. Okay, never mind. These are actually maxed out as well, and those can't support it. I think it uses like 10k a tick or something. Maybe more. But there you go, yeah. Molten aluminium. Or aluminum. I don't remember where this texture came from. Oh yeah, it came from one of those one of the free texture things. Right, yeah. And we should hopefully have, yeah, we have carbon dioxide there as well. I don't know what that value is. Why is that why is that a float? What? Why is that a float? Gas storage. Gas, it shouldn't be it's not. Why is that saying it's a... Oh, it must be, okay, I see. So it must be outputting like a non-millibucket amount. So let's get rid of that because we don't need that anymore. So if we go to the recipe provider. Oh yeah, here you can see energy cost 10,000. So should be able to see, yeah, it's outputting an ingot, which is why it's a weird amount. If I change that to like a bottle, maybe not a bottle actually, because that's a lot. Maybe a nugget. I can't hot swap that, can I? But if I run data gen, then okay, we're not going to actually be able to see a thing. That also, it's actually not on the bottom, is it? You can see it's actually a pixel too high. Don't know how that's happened. Guess we can have a quick look, can't we? Electrolyzer screen. Screen? Hello? IntelliJ? You good? What? Oh, I see. Y plus 30, height 80. I don't know. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Don't know why it's a pixel off. Okay, yeah, that's using the durability there. That's fine. I think this is meant to be the heat bar. That should probably be showing something, but it's fine, I think. But yeah, that's molten aluminium. Now the only thing is I actually don't have a way to turn that into anything. Like I can't turn molten aluminium into aluminium ingots because I don't have like a... I don't know what I was gonna add actually. I think I was gonna add a casting table. And I wanted to do kind of like a Tinker's Construct way, where you would use like sand to create the initial mold, and then you do it like that. But yeah, okay, so this is like a working setup. I mean, it's not completely automated because we can't output from this, which is a bit of a pain. But to do that, I would need conveyors. Now, I do have conveyors. Oh no, I don't. I actually don't have them in this. They're either on a separate branch or I removed them I think I removed them temporarily actually. Yeah, when I add conveyors, obviously I'll conveyor it from there, I guess, up into here, and then from there, like, it would then conveyor from here into here. Now, I don't know actually why it's not using up the cryolite to generate the molten cryolite. That's suboptimal. I don't know if it uses up the coal. I actually don't think it uses up the coal. I think you just have to have coal in there. I think. Because you can't, or like, the cathode doesn't get used up, right? I believe. Is that correct? Yeah, okay. The cathode does not get consumed as part of the primary electrochemical process. Yeah, that's what I thought. And which, unlike the anode, which gets consumed rapidly. Yes, okay. Oh, right. Yes, the cathode does degrade over time. Right. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't get used up, but it degrades over time. I don't know if I implemented that. Like, I don't know if I made it go down over time. I assume I didn't. Anode inventory. Cathode? Cathode. Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't make it degrade over time. I probably could. I think eventually I was going to have, instead of here coal, I was going to actually have like a carbon lining. Like an item. I don't know how I was going to make that, though. That's the only thing. I probably had a plan. I don't remember. This is the kind of thing I should have wrote down, because I don't know what my original plans were. I think I remember actually discussing some of this with you earlier. Right? I think I was asking you about some of it. But yeah. Unfortunately, that is actually like basically the end of this stream. There isn't much we can do from here. Obviously, we haven't actually achieved a huge amount today, but we have tested that all these machines work. Actually, we have 10 minutes, so what we're going to quickly do is we're going to test some of the tin process. I don't remember what the tin process is called. What's the tin process called? For processing cassiterite. I'll look it up and I'll be like, oh my god, yes, of course. Oh no, it doesn't actually have a name, apparently. Yeah, apparently there isn't actually a name for it. I mean, it says benefication, but that's just concentration. And then you do smelting afterwards. So it doesn't really have a name. Unlike all of this, which is the Hole's heroic process, and that is almost certainly not how you say it, but that thing. Yeah, I don't know how much of that one we can go over though. We can quickly have a look. So we start with crushing it. So if we quickly go ahead and grab cassiterite, just grab the crusher. Like that. Now, unfortunately, the crusher is one of those one of those blocks that actually aren't a multi-block, which is quite unfortunate. But I think I can hopper into this one, if I recall correctly. So I just want to do that, because then I can do that, and then I can do like, I don't actually know what comes after this. Oh, the shaking table. Yeah, I actually can't automate that anyways then. But I can at least do this for now. Just like a temporary thing. Oh, no, it doesn't go like that, does it? It goes, it has to go in the top. Nice. Yeah, and then I have to put energy in here, of course, so... Yeah, the crusher is one of those that are not a multi-block, unfortunately, because it's all the way back from Dirty Chemistry. It's the exact same model from Dirty Chemistry. So, Oops. I haven't got around to making that a multi-block yet. I think I was waiting for the new multi-block system as well. Didn't want to start working on one and then have to change it like 2 days later because I, wrote a new multi-block system. So nice, that works. That crushes them and gives you the crushed cassiterite. And then from there, you put it in the shaking table. So this is one we haven't tested yet. This might be broken, I assume. Oh my god. Okay, so this one needs to also be rotated at just like the right angle. Holy crap, there are so many friggin' inputs on this one. Wow. So I think it's just like water in the top, items in the top, I think. I don't think it's anything else. Obviously I can just put those in there like that. And just double check actually, but yeah, so items go in the top. So I mean, I could have moved this up and then hoppered it in. Yeah, I just can't be asked. Energy, I think, yeah, that goes in the bottom. Which obviously doesn't really make sense with this model, but it's fine. Actually, we'll go one under, just so I don't go completely and utterly insane. Okay. Go under, come on. Yeah, nice, nice. Okay. So that now has energy, and then we just need water. So we can pipe that over from here, but we also have it... didn't we pipe the water under here? Yes, we did. I thought so. I thought we did. I'm not going completely insane. So the water, the best place to pipe that is going to be... I mean, it needs to go basically anywhere on the top at the moment. I think I just made it like simple. So what I will do... Oh my god, I keep friggin' unflying. Okay, so if I just bring this over like that. And then, come on, there you go. And then all I have to do is put that up here. Nice. And then those will go across. Nice. So those will work. That's good. And that gives me the concentrate and then also clay slurry as well. And then after that, it goes in the centrifugal concentrator. And we know this one works because we actually did test this one last time. So I don't know, once again, if it needs a specific orientation. I actually don't think it does. I think this one's fine. But one thing it does need is energy. So I'll quickly go ahead and just bring this over. Let me just do that. Nice. So that now has energy. This one does have a UI. I actually wasn't sure if this one had a UI. Yeah, it's a bit buggy. This one has a really buggy UI. None of the other ones do. Like, all the other ones are fine. This one's just like... Some places it works. Some places it just doesn't work. Anyways, I think this one also is water. Is that right? Apparently, it's just the concentrate. No fluid. Oh, unless it's always water. It might actually be always water, and that's why it's not showing on the recipe thing. So if I just bring the water over, we'll make this one a bit ugly, but just to save time. Nice, so that's the water in there. That's not rendering though. So once again, this might be an issue of Let me make the Minecraft window smaller again so we can fix this. So I think that's once again going to be centrifugal concentrator block NC renderer. That will be because when we do this, yeah, so we're basically passing in the matrices to all of these. Yeah, so we can actually fix that fairly easily because we can just pass in the entry and just directly put that in there. And then in here, these can all just take the entry in, and that's it. That's actually like all that has to be done there. So if we go ahead and just restart the client, we might actually be able to do this all before the end of the stream. This is going to be crazy. We have 3 minutes. If we can get this done before 10, that'd be lovely. Okay, we just have to wait for it to load back up. This one should work. I don't think there should be any problems with this one. Because Basti was working on this one. So I remember this one must have worked if I got Basti to do the rendering. So yeah, we should see it working. Only thing is, it probably shouldn't render the particles unless it's actually running, right? Which it currently does. I think we'll leave that for now, but like, probably just something worth pointing out. Then it's bedtime. No, then it's end stream time. Because otherwise I'm too loud and my parents will get angry with me. Oops. Okay, there we go. So that's the water. We've got the particles, and then if we just put the concentrate in here. So if we let's go F3B, just take that back out of here, and oh my god, this UI, bro. Put it in there. It should spin around. Okay, that doesn't work. I'm actually kind of not surprised. So yeah, that's going to be the same issue. It's because of state.bol rotation. Can we fix this in time? What's state.bol rotation set to? Oh, it's set in on render. Yeah, that's not going to work because it's taking the original, and we can't do that. So this is going to have a rethink. But yeah, it is processing. That's actually like working, right? Nice. And that gives us out more clay slurry. And then the next one is, I believe, after that, it goes into the arc furnace. Now this, I don't think is a multi-block. Yeah. Because this will actually be a one that you have to build yourself. I mean, they all will have to be, but right now they're not. But yeah, so that goes in there, and then it processes. I think this does actually work. Not sure. But we are going to end the stream here. I don't know. What's going on here? What? Why are these... Why do they have a little bit of... What? And it's buggy as well. What the hell? Okay, anyways. We are now going to end the stream here. Yeah, tomorrow, I think we're going to go back to Railroad. Not entirely sure. Maybe we'll continue with this. I don't know. But But yeah, I mean, a lot of the multi-block system needs to be done before we can properly continue, because this needs to be a proper multi-block. These need to be all like the new multi-block system rather than the old one. So they're gonna all need a rewrite. That's gonna take a while, but it all needs to be done at some point. So I'm just gonna have to get on and do it. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I will be live again tomorrow. I think it's going to be Railroad. Pretty sure I'm going to do Railroad tomorrow, not Industria. I can't always work on Industria. I need to do some railroad, some railroading. So that will probably be tomorrow. And next weekend will be the same. Of course, we'll do Industria and Railroad. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.